Aloha.
Aloha.
Try that again. Aloha.
Aloha.
Welcome. Very special day, and I want to introduce you to some special people. Some of you know, some of you might not know. As your name is called, why don't you stand up and stay standing until we're all standing. The Reverend Sonia Vargas from CSL Ravenna. There she is. Reverend Michael Ingersoll, CSL Seattle. Reverend Michael Amare, Northern Lights, Tequila. Reverend Bob Hawkins, CSL Seattle. Sorry, Vaughn. Reverend Vaughn. They got you out of place here. Reverend John Hollis, CSL Seattle. Reverend Heather Venegas, CSL Seattle. The Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis, CSL Seattle. Reverend Michael Ock, who is the Peace Tree Vietnam and out in front ministerial person. There he is. Reverend Sharon Ramey, CSL Seattle. Reverend Barbara Novak, awaiting Spirit's direction. And of course, the one and only Reverend Debora Gay. Yay! And of course, all of you wonderful people, welcome, welcome. You are in for a treat. You guys may be seated. And so I would like to invite the Reverend Dr. Kathy Ann Lewis to invoke this fine ceremony. Kathy Ann.
Well, our beloved outreach practitioner Joyce Lachuga said that she's been calling in the ancients and has been doing so since she arrived. I am so grateful that we get to blend two beautiful traditions today. One is old and ancient, and one's a wee bit newer. Wee bit. And I think that it's beautiful because Ernest Holmes said that we are a correlation of the revelations of religion. So why wouldn't we want to honor this beautiful, gorgeous way of honoring our beloved Debora, because this tradition is so close to her heart. And so, in this awareness, let's turn inside for just a moment. You can close your eyes or not. And let's invite in to this ceremony, invite into this space the wisdom of the hills behind us, the wisdom of the trees behind us, the wisdom of the earth beneath us, the wisdom of the wind that blows around us. Let us invite in the wisdom of the sea and all of the animals in it. Let us call forth the wisdom of the ancients that are here with us, here to bless Debora. And let us know that today we get to witness a great occasion. An occasion where a person, this time a woman, but it could be a man, a minister, says, I have tried this out. And even though not everything I expected has come about, and even though this is perhaps not what I bargained for, and even though sometimes I've been slightly disappointed, even with all that, I say yes to God. I say yes to my ministry. I say yes to what God can do through me. I say yes to the sacred, wonderful bond of soul to spirit and all of the ancients and everything around us. Life and nature itself says, "A and amen," and then we say, "And so it is." Hula, the beautiful Hawaiian dance called hula, called ha'a in old-time Hawaii, is a sacred, it's a reverent, deeply spiritual gift to the gods. Hula is usually danced with a chant called an oli and a song called a mele. And hula was originally danced for the goddesses Pele and Laka, her sister, in deep and reverent sacred ceremony. Old style hula is called kahiko. It's the ancient hula, banned way back in the 1700s because when the Hawaiians were turned to Christian, it was considered pagan. So a lot of the deep meaning and the deep spirituality disappeared for a while. Luckily, there were kumus who kept the tradition, and a renaissance today is bringing back some of that old tradition. So, old style hula causes the blood to pound. It causes the heart to pitter-patter, and it causes the spirit to soar. And it causes you to have chicken skin. And most of us know hula through TV or you've been to Hawaii, and that's called auna hula. But today we're seeing the old style come back, deeply spiritual. Intricacies of hula, as you probably know, have to do with the hand movements. So like rain or rainbow or waves. It includes things, the face gives character, the eyes give character, and the hips and the legs and the feet pound out rhythm and power. That's still prevalent today. Kahiko hula, really, the sacredness of it is because that is how the Hawaiian history was told. Nothing was written down, so it's a story of the genealogy and the history of the Hawaiian people for many, 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 many thousands of years. Sacred, spiritual, exquisitely special, and very secret in old times. Now, the hula dancer. When the hula dancer chooses to be a hula dancer, it's a choice one makes to change their life. Reminds me of practitioner minister. To change their life, to bring themselves forward in a new way that they've never done before, their purpose. And their purpose is to live aloha every moment of every day.
And aloha doesn't just mean hello and goodbye. Aloha means I love you. It means I am one with you. It means we're all connected. It means what's mine is yours. What's yours is mine. What I do to you, I do to myself. And on, many, many, many layers of meaning of aloha. And then that hula dancer, that's her kuleana, or his kuleana. And as the dance goes on, and the dancer digs deep into their heart and dances from the heart, that dance becomes a gift that heals the dancer, and it's a gift to the receivers, you, today, you. And then the gift comes back to the dancer, so it's like this amazing oneness, and the giving and the receiving, the giving and the receiving. And it changes the dancer, and it changes you as you let that spirituality sink into your soul and into your cells. Today, we're honoring our beautiful goddess, Debora, child of ancient Hawaii. And I just want to invite you to hold her high today as she steps across and makes vows and vows to live her new kuleana, to live aloha, so that every person that she touches receives the healing that she has to give. Aloha.
Ike maka, ika once upon a time, our founder, Ernest Holmes, was asked to put together some core beliefs, the foundational beliefs for our spiritual philosophy. And Reverend Debora asked us to share those core beliefs with you today as a profound invoking of the fact that even though we are alone, we dwell in a paradox that says we are one. And today we come together as one.
What we believe. We believe that there's one God and that all things are an expression of that God.
We believe that the Spirit of God exists in each of us and in everything we see, hear, taste, smell, or touch.
We believe that life goes on forever and ever, becoming more beautiful as it grows.
We believe that the kingdom of heaven is right here and right now.
We believe that each of us in this life to experience freedom.
We believe in the unity of life.
We believe that the highest God and the innermost God are one.
And we believe that each person has a personal relationship with God.
We believe that God's wisdom becomes stronger in us as we think about the truth.
We believe that because we think with the creative mind of God, our thinking causes things to happen.
We believe that God's goodness and love for us has always been true. It is true now and will be true forever and ever.
We believe in our own goodness, that the life we live is the life of God. And so it is.
So we have a special gift for you. Rather than you giving us the love offering, we're going to be giving you a special gift. Come forward. We have a gift of a flower that has come all the way from Hawaii and a shell also. So everyone will be receiving a flower and a shell. Go ahead. So these flowers came all the way from Hawaii. And because they did, they carry that vibration of aloha. They carry the energy of aloha. As Joyce said, aloha has many meanings, many layers of meaning. I think of it as a one-word prayer that reminds us of the highest and best of the magnificence of God. But there's also a translation that I think Diana did a nice job of communicating when she did the hula. Because as she did the hula, I was brought to tears for a while. I was touched in my heart. I had a very special feeling. So Diana, thank you for bringing aloha in that translation. But aloha is also a way of being. It's a way of just being in life that is generous and loving and compassionate. It's a way of accepting everything and pushing away nothing. It's a way of being open to receive whatever is there, standing solid and grounded, whatever is happening. And we remind each other of that by simply saying aloha every chance we get. So I would like, as I say hello, you say aloha back. Aloha. Aloha. Okay, I want you to really feel it from your heart. I want you to let your heart say aloha this time. Aloha. Aloha. There, feel that feeling? So that's the feeling we're bringing here. We're bringing that aloha. And that is the energy of this ordination. And now Abby's going to say a little bit about ritual.
So what we're going to do is once everybody has a flower and a shell, I want you to take that into your hand and we're going to do a blessing. We're going to load the flower and the shell with all of our blessings. So in a minute, once everybody has that, I'll guide you through that process. So what we're going to do is, the blessing is for our beloved Reverend Debora Gay. So we're going to blow into that flower and to the shell our blessings for Debora and her ministry. And a little bit about the shell. Debora doesn't know about the shell part. The flowers, when we're through, you will have to wear or put on your altar or place on the land. I just ask that before you leave this land here at Seabeck, to plant your prayers. Leave your flower here. But we want Debora to take some of those blessings home as well. So the shells will go home with Debora. So after you've blessed them, when we're done here, you can place them right here in this basket on the special altar up here. And then those shells and blessings will go home with Debora. I also want to speak just a little bit before we do this blessing that, the spirit of Aloha walks with Debora and comes through those flowers that we're blessing and the shells. And I also want to speak to that she also walks with the blessing and the spirit of the mountain spirits here, Mount Rainier and of the Olympic mountain range and all the others. So we have water from both that are in these bowls. So once you've blessed your flower and you want to leave it, you can leave it on the land, you can wear it, you can leave it on your altar. This is another option, that if you want to place your flower in the bowl of water, you can do that, and then those will decorate somewhere here on the grounds this week. Okay, I think we're there. So go ahead and gather up your flower and your shell. And invite you to simply go into that quiet space. Taking a deep breath in and connecting with the land here. Feeling the Hood Canal. Feeling the mountains behind us. Mount Eleanor, Mount Washington, Mount Olympus, and all the other sacred holy peaks. Watching over this holy sacred ceremony for Reverend Debora Gay. Tuning into the trees, the sky people, and everything in between. Finding that deeper path into the core of your heart. Knowing that it is one heart, one love, one power. And from that place that sometimes we call the spirit of Aloha, I invite you to bring the blessing forth. Blessing our beloved Reverend Debora Gay and the next steps of her ministry, knowing that that ministry is unfolding with grand perfection, bringing forth the love of your own life, the love of this land, the love of each other in this circle, our communities, our families, and on and on. And when you're ready, I invite you to blow all of that love and gratitude for those blessings into your flower and into the shell. Allowing spirit to move through you uniquely as it moves through you. Blowing it all in. And allow that flower to guide you to where it wants to be placed before you leave the grounds of Seabeck. And remember, as you blow your blessing in, you are also being blessed by this land. Deep breath in. Let it all go. Knowing it is done. And so it is.
I hear a call, now will I answer. Forsake my all to serve another. When darkness falls, stay a believer. I hear a call, now will I answer. I see a light, now will I follow. Fill up this life that grows more hollow. Like joy reside where there is sorrow. I see a light, now will I follow. I hear a call from out of nowhere, and everywhere I go, I hear a call. Now will I answer? I feel a touch, I feel a touch. Now will I hold on? There with love that goes with no one. With the kindness touch, it lives though I'm gone. I feel a touch. Now will I hold on? I hear a call from down nowhere, everywhere I go. I hear a call from down nowhere. I hear a call from down
So I'm Andrea Aspito, and I have the incredible opportunity from time to time to do what I love to do, which is acknowledge someone's incredible efforts. You can see that there's a DD beside my name and Kathy Ann's. That stands for Dedicated to Delight. And so, yeah. And so today I am truly delighted, as I know many of you are, to be here to celebrate the journey of a very incredible person and to be the official one who stands for our whole organization and says to Debora, well done. Well done, beloved. 7 years of service, and now the start of a new part of your journey. For truly, this ceremony is an acknowledgement of what has been, but it also is a gateway to what will be. Because in this day, we acknowledge a marriage that has already occurred in Debora's heart and soul and spirit. A marriage between herself and the divine mystery that holds us all. And where that will take her, as you know, none of us know. So we celebrate in ceremony now this part and acknowledge the work and the consciousness and the wedding that is occurring here. And to help us is someone who was married herself last year, the Reverend Barbara Novak. Barbara?
It is with great privilege and great honor that I get to be the presenting minister for this lovely, lovely, lovely woman who I've had the incredible, come over here, Miguel, opportunity to work with and partner with in so many ways. So they've given me the powers that be, some things I must say. And what I'm going to do is say those, but then speak specifically to Debora and how she showed up as that and honoring her in the places. And I'd like for each one of you, as that happens, to take to your heart how she has shown up directly for you. Because that is the Aloha spirit. It is the giving and the receiving. And there is so much grace here. So much grace. So, this afternoon, it is our joyous privilege and pleasure to ordain Reverend Debora Gay as a lifelong minister of religious science. We are here to celebrate her leadership and invaluable service she lovingly gives to the Centers for Spiritual Living. As I said, it's been my privilege to serve with Debora. When she came on board, she joined a leadership team with a few of us, and I'll tell you, when she came on board, she brought the centered strength and incredible wisdom. Wisdom being the combination of love and intelligence. Her brilliance, her sense of order, came in and filled our lives with guidance. Her ability that she brought from her work in the world, her knowledge of financial affairs, her business skills, made our team complete. And we felt it. We felt it. In the place of playing with Debora, we've gotten an opportunity to do a few prayer services and the collaborative efforts of working not only with ourselves, but also incredibly with musicians like Garnet and Beverly and others who joined us. It's always been a delight. Such an incredible place to work together and play together. Reverend Debora, in religious science, we observe the ceremony of ordination in a symbolic manner. We believe that while we are imbued with the divine nature, you have specifically devoted yourself to the task of helping others attain awareness of their divine nature. It is in recognition of your achievement of bringing to your people an awareness of their oneness with God that this ceremony derives its profound meaning. Reverend Debora, I have watched you be so naturally empathic with people, so present to who they are, welcoming them in and being with them in the times when trouble is there, centered again and strong. She's a steady, loving presence. I love it when she gets up and welcomes us, sometimes in the morning. So powerful and present. She cares deeply for people and for animals. And as Abby, our wonderful Abby, said, she's a good steward of the land. In fact, she's so deeply connected to the land. I think she learned this in Hawaii. But here she feels connected to the land in the work of the land, preserving it and getting the power that we have from it. And she has shared that with me. So I know that we are on sacred ground as we are standing here once again at Seabeck. And I must say that it is with great joy that I share this date with you. Many of you have been her students. If you've been her student, raise your hand. Wow, take a look. Keep your hands up for a second. I want you to take that in. Wow. She has taught the way of the mystic, and she has taught essential earnest. There's such grace and beauty in the movement that she walks as a mystic, with the grace of Hawaii always with her, that Aloha spirit. And then the ability to turn around and bring you that solid, grounded wisdom of essential earnest that takes us into the troubles of the world and says, how do we apply these principles to real life situations? Such a beautiful gift to move from that mystical space to the grounding of our incredible spiritual principles. And she walks her talk. I've watched her walk her talk. When things get difficult, as Kathy Ann talked about in the prayer, it doesn't always go the way that we think it will go. What I know of Debora and what I've experienced of you is that true ministerial sense and presence that ever connected with the divine. You call upon the divine and you show us. And that is the example of a minister. So thank you. This outward act is symbolic of that which is already established within. The inner recognition of the presence and power of God has called you into active ministry. A minister must possess a heart that loves, inspires, comforts, and heals. Today we are commemorating that which has already been proved within your one consciousness. And that means not one, W-O-N-E, or O-N-E, it's one, W-O-N. You've won that consciousness. I think that's interesting. I like that. Some of you may not know this, but in the years prior to coming on board with us, she of course worked out in the world in her position, which she was so fortunate to retire from and come into here. But prior to that, in these 7 years that she has finished school, what Reverend Debora did along with Reverend Michael Auk, they partnered in assisting Olympia, the Center for Spiritual Living, in their transition time when they didn't have a minister. And I was talking to Reverend Michael about it, and I said, what were the characteristics and qualities that you felt stood out in that time that you worked with Debora and with her working in community? And the power that showed up there and the presence that showed up there was that they could lean into each other as they took the challenges on of a grieving community and brought together community looking forward into finding someone who would work with them and having a community prepared to be open to it, bringing that new person in, that they leaned into each other. They allowed that place to help the community out by taking the heart and the wisdom of each one. So Debora coming forward with her heart and her incredible wisdom, which is intelligence and love, along with Michael and his heart and his wisdom, to create a complete whole. I love that Michael saw that and said that that's what he would honor in her. And I know that the Olympia Center for Spiritual Living is quite grateful to both Reverend Michael's and Reverend Debora's time spent there. I think it's really incredible. So the ministry is a profession in the highest sense. It is also a business requiring management skills, leadership ability, and financial understanding. It is very clear to me that Debora has all these skills. I've had the pleasure to not only serve with her and learn from her, but in the excellence that she provides, I've seen her wisdom come forward as she shared that with us and actually taught us in some ways to look at things through different eyes. So while it is all these things, the management skills and the leadership ability and the financial understanding that you did bring with you, it is something much more. It is a calling. It is not to be entered into lightly. One goes into ministry only when the intuitive urging of God has called, when the mind, the heart, the spirit, and the soul are able to respond. You, my dear Reverend Debora, have responded admirably to that calling. You have embodied the spirit and the presence of God. You live your life centered on principle, and you serve well those seekers who are drawn to you in your spiritual light. Isn't that true? Don't you feel that? Yes. So bless you, and not only bless you with blessings galore. And it is now time for your vows. I love you.
Good afternoon. I'm Sharon Ramey, and I get the privilege today of being the ordaining minister. And the ordaining minister is the person who administers the vows, who administers the vows. And much like a marriage, the vows are the part that are the place where you go from being not ordained to being ordained. So, as I said, I'm incredibly blessed to be here. No, Deb, you don't get to sit down. So when Deb asked me if I would do this, I said, okay, so tell me a little bit about what your ordination is going to be about. What's the theme? What are the qualities, etc. And she goes, it's in the spirit of love and aloha. And I thought, oh no. Because I grew up in Hawaii, just like Deb did, just like Jane did. And as a little kid, I knew aloha meant hello, goodbye, and love. And pretty much that was it, except that I think within each of us, we knew that there was something different. We knew that it meant something different. We just couldn't put it into words. And I still can't put it into words. So fortunately there's Google. So I'm embarrassed to say I had to go to Google to find out the deeper meaning of aloha. And in Google, there is a place where it says the deeper meaning of aloha. Yes. And it tells about Kahuna, this guy that's writing the article, references this Kahuna who really goes deeply, deeply into the meaning of aloha. And so, as I was reading it, what occurred to me is, it's all science of mind. What you guys are living is aloha, and you didn't even know it. So, as you might have guessed from what everyone has said before, that there is a correlation of science of mind and this thing called aloha. And even starting with the invocation, what it said in this article, Kathy Ann, was aloha was gathering the wisdom from all of nature. So I think within each of us, we know what aloha is, but because I have to tell you anyway, because I did all this research, the first thing I loved about aloha was it meant God in us. And I thought about Reverend Deb as she is going from this place of not being ordained to being ordained. And there's not really a separate line. It is totally embodying more of God in us, God as us. Because I know That's who you are. The other thing aloha means is, now listen to this, consciously manifesting life joyously in the present. Is that not science of mind? And is it not, our Reverend Debora? For I have watched you for quite a number of years since I was in prac studies, and I've watched you, Deb, take this thing called life and the elements of life and manifest what you desire. You were living aloha throughout the entire process. Now, it also said in this article that aloha, this manifesting life joyously in the present, requires what this energy called mana, which some of you may have heard of before. Mana. And aloha is that mana. It is that energy that we use to manifest what we want. And is that not our Reverend Debora? Does she not exhibit and exude for each one of us that she is taught? That mana, that energy to be able to manifest what we want. So as one of your students, I say thank you. And finally, the method that we bring this mana in is another thing called aloha, and it is the deep breathing. The breathing in the present moment. Now, what they said in this article is that with conscious, concentrated breathing in the moment, we can increase our mana even more. So, that's aloha. So, in this moment, as we do these vows, as Debora takes her vows to be an ordained minister, I ask each of you to breathe deeply and to know that the energy of the mana, the energy of aloha, is welling up in you and filling up in Deb as she commits to going forward as an ordained minister. So are you ready for that? Your job, to breathe deeply through all of her vows. Thank you. So Reverend Debora, the Centers for Spiritual Living has consented to the convening of this ordination service in recognition of the fact that your ministry is precious to it. So we offer you this celebration to demonstrate your sincerity and your commitment to its ever-enlarging dream of growth in consciousness, aloha, that will lift the human spirit. Reverend Debora Gay, are you now ripe, ready, prepared, and poised to pledge publicly your commitment to the doctrine as an ordained minister of religious science?
I am.
Woo! Continue breathing deeply. Do you accept as your faith the truth expressed in our Declaration of Principles?
I do.
Will you, to the best of your ability, let this guide your life?
I will.
Do you pledge to teach that God is principle and presence, love and law?
I do.
Will you help all those who come to you to understand the truth that we are one with the Spirit of God? Aloha. That we are in God and God is in us, and that we are one in being?
I will.
So congratulations, Reverend Debora. You have made a lifelong commitment to your ministry and have dedicated yourself to live and teach this principle of truth. By the authority vested in me, and by the authority of your commitment to this ministry and your commitment to living aloha for the rest of your life, I do now confer upon you ordination as minister of religious science. This is clap. The Centers for Spiritual Spiritual Living has a special gift for you, your ordination stole. And I now welcome Reverend Kathy Ann Lewis, Karen Ramsey, Deborah's mother, Lou Gay, to join me in to presenting to you your ordination stole. Your stole is a symbol of the Spirit of truth and your newly acquired station as an ordained minister. It exemplifies your commitment to know the truth, to live the truth, to teach the truth, wear it with dignity. As they place the stole on, I want to hear a giant aloha.
So please remain standing because now it's your turn. Will you stand in front of the podium facing these amazing people? You have seen Reverend Debora take vows, and now I invite you to take a vow to support her. Members of the Center for Spiritual Living Seattle and friends gathered here, you have seen that Reverend Deborah Gay has been ordained. Remember, she is only one, and you are many. It is through the combined teamwork that she so truly believes in, and the consciousness of your ministers, your practitioners, and of you, her congregation, that the success, the prosperity, and the vision of your center shall be attained. Will you do, to the best of your ability, everything you can to support this incredible woman in her ministry? And if so, say, I will.
I will.
And Reverend Deborah, you see before you just a sampling of the many, many people you have touched in so many ways. I charge you to go forth and to do what you have been doing with such greatness, to teach the principles of the science of mind, to be inspired by the divine and teach how to build a consciousness of health, harmony, happiness, peace, power, prosperity, love, beauty, and most of all, joy. Teach everyone here and those who could not be at this ceremony. Teach them all that God is in them, is who they are, and that God as them is what they are. Teach them how to demonstrate a better way to live and celebrate all the aspects of life. If you are willing to do that, raise your hands in the air and say, I will.
I will.
And so it is. All right, she's going to talk to you about this incredible thing.
I promise to be short. This is such a joy, such a day of deep joy. And I wanted to bring in the spirit of Hawaii as a representation of my own childhood, of the first knowings that there was something bigger than just my individual life. And that came to me in growing up in the islands, because in the islands, in the land itself, and the air and the water and the plants, it's just alive. And so, as Sharon said, non-verbally, without words, as children, we breathed that in and learned what it was like to walk with Aloha. And so we shared that with you today. And then the second thing is, I knew I wanted to have my ordination in the heart of my community. And Seabeck is the heart of our community. So it's where our families come together, where we play together and grow together and laugh together, hang out together. So this was the place for my ordination to happen. This is Ohana. Ohana in Hawaiian means family, and in my case it's extended family, it's community. And so this is my Ohana, you are my Ohana. And Ohana look out for each other, and they love each other, and they respect each other, and they grow together, even in the hard times. And so we learn to trust each other, we learn to trust the community itself, and to lean into that support when we need it, and to play together and have fun together. And then this next thing I know I do, and I know each of you do, is you look for what does my community need. And when I see what my community needs, and that's what I bring forth and give to my community. And we each do that in our beautiful ways. And I've seen that unfold through each of you in Seabeck. There are so many people that are giving of their hearts and their very essence, their gifts, to our youth, to our children, to our families, to each other. And we are Ohana. And so I now am in relationship with you at that level, at the level of my heart. When I was a child, I moved to Maui at 8 years old, and we went to church at an old missionary church, Wailuku Community Congregational Church. I want to tell you this story because this is the story of the first time I heard a call. And I was an 8-year-old listening to my minister do a prayer, not paying attention at all and spacing out, like an 8-year-old does. And yet, in that moment of that prayer, I heard the voice. I heard the first divine calling of the numinous within me. And the words were, "One day you will know me. One day you will know me." And I knew in that moment, even as an 8-year-old, that that was something magnificent that had been given to me. And without words and without understanding, I tucked that into my heart and knew that that would unfold as my life, and that's what's happened. Is each aspect of my life has helped me know more the one life, and my ministry is unfolding me to go deeper and deeper into that knowing. And so I share that story with you, my first call as an 8-year-old. As I know you have heard an individual call. I know Reverend John took many of you through an ordination ceremony for yourself. We hear these calls, and they are why we are here. And for me, as I let myself feel this love that you're sending my way, I just am so blessed, feel so blessed by you. And I know that together we are one. Mahalo and aloha.
It is with salutations of love that I release this ceremony, knowing that each and every person has played their own significant note in this celebration. For we are that Ohana.
We are Reverend Debora's flock. Just as the geese majestically flew in formation overhead during the official sacred section of the ceremony, I know that we are her flock and that we do breathe together as one. That we are joined in that one heart, that one life. And so I simply invite everyone in your heart of hearts right here and right now, answer that own call that is uniquely yours with a silent and joyous yes. As we send Debora off to walk forward on her path, just blessing and acknowledging and imagining that path of your own. And we walk together as one. How sweet it is. How blessed we are. And so it is. So it is.
I know you will do well. I know you will do well. I know you will go far. I know you will go far. I know you will. I know you will. You will. Let's try it. I know you will. You will. I know you will. You will. I know you will. Go far. I know you will go far. I know you will do well. I know you will do well. You are good as gold, like someone broke the mold. I know you will. You are gonna reach up to the sky like man. You're gonna fly. I know you will. I know you will. Come on. I know you will. You will. You will. I know you will. You will. You will. You will. I know you will. I know you will. I know you will. You will. I know you will. You will. I know you. You will. I know you. I know you will. I know you. And you will. I know you will be loved. I know you will be loved. I know you will go far. I know you will go far. You are good as gold, like someone broke the mold. I know you will. You are gonna reach up to the sky like man. You're gonna fly. I know you will. I know you will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
You will.
You will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
You will.
You will.
I know you will.
I know you will.
Hey, Deborah, come on down here for a second. I know you will.
I know you will.
I know you will. I know you will. You will. I know you will.